Hello! Today I'm going to be doing a video on color addition, which is the colored shadows problems that you're going to be seeing. So typically what we're going to have with these is a screen. So here's a very large screen, and here is a card, I'm going to make it a little shorter, that makes shadows on the screen. And then we've got three different lights. So I'm going to have three lights. And what's different than before is that these lights now have colored filters in front of them. So this light has a little filter in front that is cyan. So cyan light is going to leave this light bulb. This one has a red filter in front. This one has a yellow filter in front. And what we want to know is, given that there's going to be multiple shadows created on the screen, what is that colored shadow pattern going to look like? So when we do this, we're going to be actually adding colors together. So let's give it a try and see if we can figure it out. Now, we need to figure out where the shadows are formed. And for the light here with this card and this screen, we only need to draw two lines to figure out where the shadow would be. Everywhere but here is going to be in shadow. So I've got that one, and okay, pretty good. So for this top light, this cyan light, everywhere except between these two lines is going to have cyan light. So all of this is going to have cyan. This is going to have cyan shining on it. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the next light. We have red light shining here, and again, two lines define where the shadow is formed. So we've got one line going like that, and another looking like that. I'm not too particular about how beautiful you hit these exact lines on the card. I'm looking for more of the general process. So there are the lines for the red light. So red light will shine here and here, but there won't be any red light shining between these two lines. The third is a yellow. I think I actually have a yellow. All right. So we have yellow shining, and we need to figure out where the yellow is in shadow. And I'm going to go off the screen here, unfortunately, I think. Yep. Okay, that's all right. So up there, it's going to keep going. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. So yellow is going to be blocked from here to up there somewhere. All of this will have yellow shining on it. So that's the way you start these problems. Draw the lines showing where the shadow is for each of those lights. Then what we're going to do is, for each of these areas, we're going to figure out what color of light is shining there. Cyan light. Okay, cyan light is going to be blocked from here to here, but we will have cyan everywhere outside these two lines. Okay, so there's cyan here, 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 and here. Do the same thing with red. Red is blocked between these two lines. So it'll be shining above this line and below this line. Then we've got our yellow. We've got yellow shining everywhere below this line. Okay, so yellow, 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 yellow. All right, so we know what colors of light are shining in each of these areas. Now we look and say, okay, what do these colors add up to? So to do this, okay, I'm going to go with the easy ones first. That only has yellow light shining. So this little bit of shadow is going to be just straight up yellow. This one only has cyan shining, so that one's going to be straight up cyan. The others, I'm going to have to do color addition. Cyan plus red. Okay, what is cyan made of? You are going to have on your equation sheet, oh, I don't have it written down. You're going to have this written on your equation sheet. All right, so this is on the equation sheet, so this is going to be your guide to helping you figure out color addition. And red plus green makes yellow. Green plus blue makes cyan. Blue plus red makes magenta. So what is cyan made of? Cyan is made of green and blue. So here I've got green and blue. And then I'm adding red to it. Okay, so what do those three colors add up to? Red, green, and blue together add up to white. So this right here is going to be a white shadow because I've got cyan plus red, which is green plus blue plus red, the three components I need for white light. Here I've got cyan plus yellow. All right, cyan is green and blue, so I've got green and I've got blue. Yellow is made up of red and green. Here's red and green. Okay, so what is this going to add up to? Do I have a white light here? Right, white light is red, green, blue. I've got a red, green, blue right there. So here is a red, green, blue, which is white. But then I have an extra green hanging out. So it's not pure white, it's not pure green. What we're going to do with this is call it a light green. Because it's lighter than a straight up green because we added white to the green, but it's not pure white because we added a little bit of green to the white. So anytime you have white plus another color, we're going to call it light whatever color. So we've got white, cyan, light green, yellow, red plus yellow. Red is just red. Yellow is made up of red and green. Okay, so with this one, we don't have a word for this color. Well, we actually do. This is a bad choice. So red plus red-green, red plus yellow, there is no specific word for this, except that we do have a word for it, but ignore that word that red plus yellow equals. So when we don't have a specific word for a primary color plus a secondary color, we just say, okay, this is a reddish yellow. So I'm just going to call it red yellow. So if it was red plus red plus magenta, it would be red magenta. If it was blue plus magenta, it would be blue magenta. We don't have words for most of these, so we just call it red and yellow. Okay, so we've gotten all the way down. Now we have to add three colors together. Okay, so what's cyan made up of? Cyan is made up of blue and green. So I've got blue and green, and then I'm adding a red, and then I've got a yellow, which is made up of red and green. All right, do I have a white? White is red, green, blue. So there is a white. So this is white plus red, green. Red plus green equal yellow. So this is white plus yellow. This bottom I'm going to call light yellow. It will be a lighter color than this pure yellow would be because we have that white added in. So it's going to make it a little more pale than a pure yellow. But it isn't pure white because we take the white and then we're adding yellow to it. So this one I would call light yellow. So the colored shadow pattern from this, the top is going to be white. This just cyan, cyan plus yellow. This is going to give me a light green. This is just yellow. Here, red plus yellow, we don't have a word for that, so red, yellow. And then adding all three colors together is going to give us a light yellow. So when you do these colored shadows, you just draw the 6 lines, so 2 for each of the lights, figuring out where the shadow lies. And then for each of these areas, you figure out which colors of light are shining in that area. Once you figured out which colors of light you have, then you do the color addition. You know what the colored shadow would be in each of those areas. So that's what you're going to do for color addition, colored shadows. Anything else on that? No, I think that's pretty good. So hopefully this is helpful. And that's the colored shadow. This is a C-level question. So it's just 6 lines, figure out what's there, and then add the colors. All right, good job.